Hey guys, so today we're going to be talking about the most asked questions on the internet about ACCA and CPA. If you all have anything that we leave out, please leave it in the comments down below. Let's get into it. I think ACCA and CPA are equal in nature. ACCA is a little longer than CPA. You can finish ACCA if you start from scratch in around 3 years. CPA, the entire qualification can take you 1 to 1.5 years. However, in ACCA, if you have exemptions, then you can actually complete it in a shorter period of time. That being said, when you study for both individually, I think that the level you have to study, the intensity is more or less the same. And lastly, when it comes to the passing rate, in ACCA, you have to score 50 on 100 in each paper. But in CPA, you have to score 75 on 100. So these are the ways you look at it. I don't think it's easier or more difficult, but yes, these are the features of both of these courses. Again, I've seen both. I've seen people who start at the same salary package. An ACCA and a CPA can start anywhere between 8 to 10 lakhs, depending on what company, how the interview went, what profile, how are the exams. But as a fresher, both can start at a similar package, and even companies are similar, starting with the big four: your PwC, KPMG, Deloitte, EY, Grant Thornton, BDO, etc. After that, the progress is completely on performance. In ACCA, I have seen people climb up the ladder and earning really good. I've seen I know people who become CFOs of companies and their salary goes into crores and crores. I've seen CPAs who they start practicing for their own firm, but in the US. So there again, the earnings go way out of proportion. And finally, both ACCAs and CPAs, I've seen them turn into entrepreneurs. Again, over there, when they're successful, there is no cap to how much they can earn. So earning capacity, again, it's more or less equal. Yes, both ACCAs and CPAs are hired. ACCAs are hired more for accounting advisory, IFRS, and over and above, I've seen people be getting hired in mergers and acquisition, valuation. Of course, there's statutory audit, internal audit, forensic audit. I've seen people get into I was in international tax. So Big Four is sort of all over. Down in South, like in Hyderabad, for example, they hire hundreds every month, hundreds of ACCAs for their GCC, as we call it, the Global Capability Center, where across the world, a lot of companies outsource their work to the Big Four, and the Big Four deliver the services to them from India. So ACCAs, because they have global understanding, they're hired here in these GCC centers as well. CPAs, once again, they've been hired in auditing. They've been hired for managing a lot of the US GAAP, as we call the US accounting, the US auditing, the US regulations. And again, the Big Four have tons of clients from the US. So CPAs are very well accepted there. I've seen CPAs getting hired in the global capability centers as well. And once again, I think CPAs and ACCAs have a lot of the similar sort of understanding. It's just that CPA is more US focused, ACCA is more global. Yes, ACCA and CPA both are accepted. None of them have signing authority, that's only with CA. But anything else to do with being hired as professional chartered accountants, being hired because you're an expert in the field of finance and accounts, CPAs and ACCAs both are being hired in India, and in fact they're being hired in spades. Like, we work with companies like Deloitte. They keep asking us to send them ACCAs. We get companies who are, I don't know if you all have heard about this new term called ESG. We have companies who are specializing in ESG and they want ACCAs and CPAs to get hired in their firm. So I think, yes, growth is unlimited. CPA completes faster, takes 1.5 years. ACCA takes 3 years if you start from scratch. But as many of you all know, you get exemptions in ACCA. So if you're already a chartered accountant, you can finish ACCA in 6 months. So to summarize, ACCA goes on from 6 months to 3 years, depending on how many exemptions. CPA is going to be 1 to 1.5 years for anybody. Again, both have the same potential. It depends on your performance.